We'll talk about the Pack a little bit here. They got a big game at home at Lambeau Field on Sunday against the Niners. It's basically the game of the day, if you will.
It is basically the game of the day, if you will, but there could be some significant absences for the 49ers. Now, look, we talked, you heard Doc say that Kittle's probably going to go, but Brock Purdy is another story. He did not practice today in their final practice going into the weekend. So usually when guys don't practice Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, that makes it difficult for them to play. So the reports are now that his availability is in doubt for that game on Sunday, which would definitely change things. Same thing with Trent Williams and Nick Bosa. We'll see what happens with all of those guys. Either way, Matt LaFleur, head coach of the Packers, knows he's going to have a very tough task with the Niner D, although I would say maybe not as tough with Bosa not there, but you still got guys like Fred Warner.
They're just really sound. They're really physical. They got elite players on every level. I think,
Coach.
I showed the team today. Fred Warner's an animal, and I think it all starts with him. Yeah. And just
his make how many relentless plays? 30, 40 plays in the game,
attack
Coach?
Of the
Is
football.
That what you're going to try to sell me?
It's very rare that you see somebody that can punch and tackle and take the ball away like at a rate he does. So then guys like Bosa and they've got a lot of great players. It's obviously a scheme that we like, and they play it very well.
I mean, this guy's so full of Shaq right there in that whole bit. It's not even funny. Like literally no one is playing for the 49ers. Green Bay has to win this game. They just have to.
If it's not Brock Purdy on Sunday, it would be Brandon Allen for the Niners in Lambeau. Yes, Brandon Allen would be the guy who's going to start.
They should sign your boy Danny Dimes.
Get DJ in there. Get Danny Dimes in there. He'd catch a flight to Lambeau and meet them there tomorrow. Go over the game plan. Maybe they can get some things done. This was 1.5 too early in the week, but obviously today, with all this news about Purdy, etc., it's moved a little bit. Niners now getting 3. I would anticipate to go even past that when it's official, potentially on Sunday. 45.5 the total.
Yeah, well, I bet it at 1.5 because I thought they'd win the game anyway because the Niners are the most overrated team in the NFL. All we ever hear about is the Niners are going to the Super Bowl, and every year they're going to the Super Bowl, and they're 5-5. Okay, I mean, I said yesterday they're going to be lucky if they even make the playoffs. I mean, pure luck. I say they go 4-3 the rest of the way because everyone says, "Oh, after week 9 every year they go." They're like every year they're 17-0 in the last 10 years when they're week 9. They never lost a game. Well, they lost games since they hit week 9 already because they're average. They are exactly who they are. They're 5-5. And none of their star players are playing. And then what? It's going to get better? Like, listen, they're going to be lucky. I mean, literally lucky if they make the playoffs. They're not winning the West. They're going to have to be a wild card. That's just all there is to it. And if they lose this game, they're 5-6. Keep racking up all that talk about the Super Bowl. The Niners are not going to the Super Bowl this year. It's not happening. They're not that good.
Nope.
And anytime when a coach spends 5 minutes talking about how great Fred Warner is, we all know Fred Warner's good. Let's calm down about great. Let's calm down about greatness. Like, he's no Lawrence Taylor. I'm sorry. Oh, he can punch a ball out. Who can't? This is the NFL, honestly. And I just said it earlier. What's he going to make, 30 or 40 plays on Sunday? 30 or 40, maybe 50. What's he going to be, Ferguson from Fast Times at Ridgemont High? Stop. Fred Warner. When has Fred Warner done anything lately? When is the last time, honest to Christ, that you've heard Fred Warner's name mentioned ever on this show or any show? I'm not even wrong.
It's been a while
I am not
this
even
year
wrong.
since
this guy
LaFleur just did
selling
right
you
now.
Expensive groceries. Oh, they're so great, the Niners. Oh, my God. How many Super Bowls are they going to lose now before people get off of this boat? Honestly.
Boat's taking in too much water at this point.
Taking in water.
Taking in a lot of water right now.
Shanahan's taking in water.
We will come back and get through the rest of these games, including the Eagles and the Rams Sunday night at SoFi. We'll hear from Jalen Hurts when we come back. We got a few other things left in NFL as well.
Didn't Morency say he's on the Rams to beat the Eagles? That's not happening either.
I don't believe so. I won't be on them.
They are so much better than the Rams. It's not even fun.
Yeah, let's do the rest of the games on Sunday. Of course, Sunday night, as we mentioned before the break, the Eagles will travel west to Los Angeles. They'll be at SoFi against the Rams, who have won 4 of their last 5. Now, yesterday I gave you all those numbers about Jalen Hurts compared to Patrick Mahomes over the last couple of years, how close things are, why doesn't he get the recognition, yada, yada, yada. Those numbers were actually brought up to Hurts yesterday at his press conference. Let's just say he doesn't care about numbers. He cares about winning.
I don't like to get into the stats, but I mean, winning is the only thing that really matters. And I'm not going to sit up here and judge. Everybody has their own opinion on that, but it's the only thing that matters. Everything else is subjective to how they see and how they want the position to be played. But go win.
Listen, there's no denying all that matters in the NFL is, getting it done, getting a dub. That's it. And then stats, we can all chew on all day long.
You certainly can. Yesterday, we talked about Quinyon Mitchell, rookie cornerback for the Eagles. Apparently, he likes the nickname he's been given around Philadelphia, Quinyonamo Bay. You like that? Quinyonamo Bay is what they're going with for your boy Quinyon Mitchell. So we shall see.
That's very strong.
Eagles are 2.5-point favorites at SoFi on Sunday night. 48.5 is the total.
Yeah, I think Philadelphia goes in there and beats them soundly. I do. I think the Rams are really average. And then I think the Eagles are hot. They're on fire right now. They're winning left and right. No one wants to talk about it. Since your boy Nick Sirianni started up with fans and then shaved his head, they haven't lost a game. They've won 6 straight.
They have won 6 straight. They've been great. I actually like the over a lot in that game. I think we'll get some points. I think the Eagles win. I think the Eagles cover. But I do think we get ourselves into the 50s plus with that one on Sunday night in Los Angeles. No Devonta Smith for the Eagles, by the way. They just ruled him out. Hamstring injury. He's not playing in that game. The Vikings will be in Chicago against the Bears. The Bears are going in the other direction. They've lost 4 games in a row. They've already fired offensive coordinators. Everybody's pointing fingers at each other. Don't worry, though. Matt Eberflus, who's really only got weeks left probably as the Bear coach, he's got his finger on the pulse, Scotty, of everyone in the locker room.
Just being real, just relying on the relationships, talking to guys, looking them eye to eye and having real conversations, not walking past that. I think that's important.
About where he's going to move to
I think
after
that's
he gets
whenever
fired.
you have adversity,
where are you going to move with all your money?
in your home, in your church, in your football team.
Steal some of those
That's
hoodies
what you have to do.
while you're
Have real
still
conversations, be truthful, look people in the eye and tell them the truth, and tell them how you feel, and also listen. And then when you listen really good,
What
you
is
get a good
happening
feel
here?
for
Why are we
where
listening to
everybody
this
is.
dude? Honestly, what
There he
is
is.
happening?
Eberflus.
What is happening here?
He's
we're
got
done with it.
he knows the pulse of the team. He thinks that 4 in a row, it's all right. He's got it all figured out. They are getting 3.5 at home against Minnesota. Minnesota, of course, 8-2 on the year, 39.5 the total.
I guess they could upset them. I guess it's possible that they could upset the Vikings at Soldier Field. I think there's a remote possibility that they actually win this game because I think the Vikings, with their fancy record, they're overrated too. They're another team. I think they're a team that's going to make the playoffs. They're going to lose.
They should have beat the Packers at home last week. They should have won the game, and they got the field goal blocked at the end. 3.5 actually does sound a little appealing to me, believe it or not. But I can see them losing, but we cover the 3.5. I could see that also being in the future for the Bears this week, which is all we really care about at the end of the day. Big NFC West game, Arizona into Seattle against the Seahawks, 4:25 East kick. -1.5 for Arizona on the road here. 47.5 the total.
Are you one to believe that they're going to have problems out at Lambeau Field against the Seahawks team that suddenly has found ways to win like they did against the Niners? Do you think that they could win this game at home? Seattle gets it done and beats Arizona? What do you think?
I think that this game is exactly like the line says it is, a toss-up. I think that this is a game that now they're also calling for some wet weather as per usual in Seattle on late Sunday afternoon or early, I guess, out there. I kind of like the under in this game, 47.5, and I lean to the Cardinals, Scotty, because you know what I realized with the Cardinals when we've watched them win the past few weeks? They got that strong running game. You know, when they throw Connor out there and all those other guys that right behind them, they can run the rock. And I feel like that's going to be what you need to do on the road, and they'll do that in Seattle.
You remember Walker, like when he was effective running the ball for them and they gave him the money and now you don't hear his name anymore? I have a weird feeling Arizona's going to stub their toe finally. They've had so many wins and they've had so much go right for them. Maybe in the rain in Seattle at Lambeau Field, in the cold chill and rain of the Pacific Northwest, they stub their toe. I'll take Seattle.
Kansas City off the loss in Buffalo. Their first of the season is in Carolina against the Panthers. Panthers off the bye have won 2 in a row. They won 2 in a row before their bye, and they are getting 10.5 at home. 43.5 is now the total at Bank of America.
Yeah, I just think Kansas City beats their ass. That's it. There's nothing else to say. I mean, I don't think that he can beat that defense, Bryce Young, any way, which way, other way. There's no chance. I really don't believe it. He's getting roughed up. I think Kansas City's defense is too tough for him, and I think Mahomes is going to do whatever he wants.
I'm going for it here. I think that this is going to be a game where the Chiefs have it in control. It's 27-10 with 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter, and the Panthers get some, garbage time tutty to make it 27-17, and we cash that 10.5. I'm going for it with the Panthers this week. I'm taking my shot. The Titans are in Houston against the Texans. Texans -7.5, 40.5 the total here.
I mean, this is another bad team going on the road. I'm sorry. It has to be Houston. It has to be.
I think it has to be Houston as well. I'm with you on Houston.
I mean,
I can't go any other way.
We've tried to go with the Titans a few times, and every time we do, the door gets slammed on our fingers, and they're all broken. Like, I just don't believe in Will Levis for 1 second with all of his mayonnaise commercials. Honestly, I'm done with them.
Detroit's on a mission, and that's to smash teams that they're a lot better than. And I think that they're going to do that again this week. And I know that they're better at doing that at home. I think they can do it on the road as well. They're laying 7.5 in Indy against the Colts. The total's a big fat 50.5. Smash City once again, 14+ point win for the Lions.
Smash burger. That's what's going to happen right there.
Gotta be the smash burger. The Broncos, of course, have that last spot in the AFC right now at 6-5. Bo Nick's been playing some pretty good football. They go to Vegas on Sunday against the Raiders. They're 5.5 point favorites on the road. 41.5 is the total.
I think Denver beats them and covers. I do. I think the Raiders are awful. I think Antonio Pierce is awful. I think they made bad front office decisions again in Las Vegas. This goes back to me saying there are several teams in the NFL that have morons running their front office, and this is one of them. Vegas doesn't know what they're doing. They're awful, and no one wants to admit it because they always play the same bullshit. Oh, the vaunted Raiders.
Dun 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 dun. That's what it is. The Raiders, the silver and black. Well, that's why Mark Davis is bringing in all these other people to have pieces of the franchise. He wants smarter people involved with the Raiders. He sold off another 15% of the team. He just sold 10% off to Brady and Richard Seymour and those guys.
Of the team he doesn't own.
So now he's down. He's still obviously, and I'm sure he never would not be the controlling owner of the team, but man, he's like giving them out in gift bags now. He's like, you get 5%, you get 5%, you get 10%, you get. All right, Mark. But maybe somebody will be in there. You believe Brady, and that's where Brady, being the broadcaster and also doing this. Like Brady's like there to fix. He's like the owner that's going to fix the team. Like he's there to make suggestions about who they should hire, who they should fire. Interesting. That's why they're the Raiders. They're another team that can never figure it out.
I think he's
never get it right.
Honestly, he's an awful owner. He really is. He's not even a quarter of the man his dad was. I mean, this is. I think the two greatest examples of offspring failure would be Mark Davis and Hal Steinbrenner. We call that offspring failure.
Offspring. John Mara. Luke wants to put John Mara in there too. John's had a rough.
John Mara doesn't have a kid making decisions, does he?
Well, no. I mean, Wellington Mara obviously owned the Giants forever.
Oh, so
Wellington Mara.
You mean?
Christ. So
Wellington
Luke wants
Mara
to put
died 50 years ago.
Luke wants to put John in the same category as Hal and Mark Davis and all these guys in terms of how they run it. All right. I do have touchdowns for you for Sunday. Let's go and let's do it here. I told you I'm a believer in Tommy Cutlets, and I'm a believer listening to Neighbors before that he thinks he's going to get going with DeVito in there. Just give me the rock. All right, well, let's do it. I know he didn't practice today. He's got some hamstring problems. He better play. Plus 200 for Neighbors. To get involved with Tommy Cutlets on Sunday. Nico Collins for the Texans. He came back last week, looked good. I think they get him in the end zone this week. He should have scored on the first play of the game. Plus 120, he goes. Terry McLaurin against Dallas. Dallas has had problems in the pass game all year on defense. McLaurin at plus $160. I know the Raiders are going to lose, but have you noticed what started to happen the last few weeks? This guy Bowers is eating, and he's eating in a big way right now. So plus 240 for Bowers to score once again, even in a blowout. And McCaffrey is for 2 tutties.
Look at that.
I really believe that this is going to... Now, the McCaffrey number by himself, just for one, is minus 145. Now, he has not scored the last 2 weeks since he's come back. His number is usually in the 230s, 240s. So even if you want to play 1, it's a good number. I'm going to go for 2 because they are going to have to lean on him in a big way, especially if Purdy's not going to be out there either. I'll take a shot with a doubleheader here for McCaffrey, a 2-bagger, at plus 470 for him.
Those are great picks. Those are great bets. I got no issue. I even like McCaffrey scoring twice. Bowers has been lit. McLaurin's going to go off. I mean, those are great plays. Let's go.
Let's go. It bothers me that once again this week we have to do another Jets story, even though they're not playing. The Jets would prefer to completely clean house and move on from Aaron Rodgers. After this season. That means that Aaron Rodgers, that's what they should do, which will give Aaron Rodgers a chance to completely pull the entire Brett Favre cycle before he retires. Packer legend, 1 year with the Jets, and I know he's there for 2, but last year doesn't count, he didn't play. 1 disastrous year with the Jets, and then Rodgers will go finish his career somewhere for 2 years with some team that needs a quarterback, and he'll probably do okay. And go out with a little bit more dignity than he would if he left with the Jets. That he will complete the Brett Favre cycle here after this season.
No way. There is no way at 42 he's going to keep playing with a team for 2 more years and do well.
I could see it.
It is going to be an absolute Shaq show. Be careful. I was going to drop anything there. I mean, just an absolute
anything's
Shaq
possible.
Show.
Anything's possible.
He needs to go away literally and eat mushrooms.
Do you want? Do you want? Last thing. Do you want Antonio Brown to play for the Steelers for free? He did offer that up on social media that he'd go play. Why do they need him? What are they?
The last time
Antonio
he played, he got half naked on the field. If they let him play again, he's going to do a full Monty.